Hi, this is Blue Angel on IMVU and Blue Angel the tutor on YouTube, and it's been a long time, but I've been lazy, so I'm coming back with another tutorial. I'm continuing it from the last one. I don't even remember who this was for, but I'm gonna finish it anyway to finish up the tutorial with. So in this tutorial, we're gonna learn how to basically burn or darken her face. It's part of the dodging and burning process in this whole tutorial. So all you want to do is press the burn tool. If it's not on there, all you have to do is hold the tool and then move down to the burn tool. And just click your exposure. Should be set to 11 or 12 or 13. It doesn't matter. 11, 12, or 13. It's just anything in that area. Because you don't want it to be too strong or too weak. I just like having control of how much comes off. So all you have to do is get a small brush, because we're going over the edges first. It depends on the size of the picture. I've said that many times already. So all you have to do is going around the edges first, because that's what's going to be the darkest on this side of the face. If your AV is facing forward, you're going to do this on both sides of the face, like this. I'm going to do something different over here since her face is turned, but if her face is forward or his face is forward, then you need to do this little part on both the sides. And then I'm going to take a bigger brush, and I'm going to just sweep it on this side of the face. Get some more depth in her face. Okay, and just a little bit, make my brush smaller, a little bit over here. Okay, and now we're going to right here over the eye makeup, going down to the nose. And then take a small brush, and what we're going to do is we're going to define the nostrils a bit more. Okay, and same thing, we're going to go to the outside of the nose and just shape it more so you can see what her nose actually looks like. And sometimes I like to change it a little bit so it'll look more to my liking. So because sometimes some noses don't look very detailed. They just look like big smudges with two nostrils, and it's not cute. Okay, and then I'm going to get a smaller one and get on the edges, make it a little darker, because I like the whole idea of this burning thing is supposed to be faded, like from the darkest burn to the lightest burn. And same thing with everything else. You see how I put these little extra darker ones in the middle of everything, so it just doesn't look like a big black smudge or brown smudge. Okay, and now we're going to do this part right here, the little part under your nose. I don't know what it's called. All you have to do is make a circle of dodge around it, and that's it. That's how simple it is. You don't need to do anything else. Okay, and now with the lips, you can go right, leave a little space. You don't want to go all the way to the bottom, because we're going to have a little rim lighting right there. If you don't know what rim lighting is, going to be explained later on. But we're just doing the darker part right now. Okay, you can even get in between here, because we're not going to have two big blobs of white light. It's going to be we're going to have lines in the lips. And same thing with the upper lip. We're going to try to leave a little bit of space between the top and the bottom. So you're going to have a line right here, a space right here too. And sometimes it forms its own rim lighting since the burn is making it darker. So you see this is basically rim lighting, but I'm going to make it a little bit lighter later when we get into the dodging section, which is basically lightening up some spaces to make it look better. You can darken up this side of the head. Usually I don't do anything to the forehead because there's going to be hair covering it anyway. But I guess for the tutorial I can show you just in case there's no hair. Your hair is not covering it up. I mean, my hair might not. I don't know. It depends on what I feel like the hair should look like. But let's get some dark spaces by the nose again. Okay, and now we want the chin to be more defined. So we're going to take a small brush and go against the edges. We're going to add something else to this later to make it a little bit better because I know it's not looking that great right now. And then we're going to go under the chin and make a little shadow underneath all this area. Okay. The more contrast, the better. Honestly, you don't want to overdo it, but the more contrast, the better. Okay, and now we're just gonna blend all of this stuff in real quick. Exposure set to 12. Usually all of my exposures usually set around to like the 10 to 12. So if I don't say what it's set to, you can probably see it because it's in HD, but if I don't say it, it's probably between 10 and 12. Or 12. Between 10 and 12 or 12. Yeah. So all you have to do is smudge this all together. I switched between the smudging tool and the blurring tool. You never want to blur your edges. If you want to blur anything, you have to do it in this area of the skin, like where no other thing is at. Because if you blur the edges of your picture, then it's not going to look presentable. People don't like to have their edges or their avatar looking blurry in their picture and smudged up. It just doesn't look good at all. That's the main place where some people go wrong sometimes, is they try to blend the skin and they don't really know how to do it correctly, so they just blur everything and it does not look very good. Honestly, sometimes I like things to be really smooth, and sometimes I like things to look sharp. It just depends on what you're drawing. Usually, tutorials aren't really for you to learn how to edit. Just period. It's just for you to develop your own way in editing. I used to look up a million tutorials thinking, okay, if I use this tutorial, I can edit like them, and it's not the case. It's just for you to develop your own way. Like, you can do something I do, but change it in a way that makes your pictures look better, or makes the process easier for you. You don't have to do exactly what I do. But if you're just starting out and you really don't know much about Photoshop or editing, then you can do everything I do. It's no problem. I have no problem with that. That's why I put these up here. Okay, and now I guess I can go down to the body real quick. And for this, if you don't have anything that outlines it, you can just do the outline yourself. But all we're going to do is basically define these a bit more. running, and then, like I said before, get a smaller brush and define it a bit more, because if you have this big blur, brown blob, it doesn't look good. Okay, now, I think we have time to go to the boob area, and we're going to do the same thing, make it darker in places where, basically you're just darkening places that's already darker, lightening places that's already light. It sounds simpler than it is, but that's basically what you're doing. Okay, and then we're going to get a smaller brush and kind of line up where the boobs end. Okay, so now we can smudge everything together so it doesn't look terrible. Honestly, when you dodge and burn, you don't want to make it look like you dodged and you burned. You just want to look like they took the picture and it just came out that way. Okay, so boobs are defined, and you see if I'm missing anything else. Well, I'm not really focusing on the body in this tutorial, just mostly the face. So this is the end of the burning tutorial. I will burn the rest of it and then start on the and show you the dodging tutorial next. We're focusing mostly on the face, so I'm gonna just burn the rest of the body. burn the rest of the body, and then I'll come back to you with the next tutorial.